Tonight on Q2, showing off the courts.
Basketball courts, volleyball courts, and an indoor track area.
Work is underway and progress is being made on a new multi-sport complex in Billings. Plus, one of 1,000.
It's a very humbling experience to be able to be given this award by the governor.
A Columbus veteran is honored for his service in and out of the military. And a stalemate leads to a shutdown. The funding freeze in Washington is well into day one, and lawmakers continue to make little progress on a deal. We'll have the latest. The MTN 430 News starts right now. Good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday. I'm Andrea Lutz. Two major sports projects once thought dead after voters rejected a $143 million parks bond are now charging ahead. Crews are making big stride on a new ice arena near Amon Park, while a multi-sport court facility is also rising pretty fast. Tonight, Charlie Klepp shows us how these projects are scoring wins even without the bond money.
The Billings community's push for enhanced sports facilities is on full display here at Amon Park, where you've got the Signal Peak Ice Arena being built on one side of me and the Amon Recreation Center being built on the other. A quick walk around the property.
This morning we poured our 2 mechanical slabs.
And the skeleton of the Amon Recreation Center, or ARC, is taking shape. While it's currently just steel beams and concrete,
this is all basketball court right here.
By the end of next June, it will transform into a more than 50,000 square foot facility featuring the largest basketball court in the state.
Basketball courts, volleyball courts, and an indoor track area.
For those behind the project, like Dick Zier with the South Billings Urban Renewal Association and Corey Thompson with Billings Parks and Recreation, the possibilities are endless.
This will be a multi-purpose facility. I don't see it just always being sports.
So this will be a fantastic venue for not only weekend tournaments, but community recreation.
And while progress is steadily underway now, in 2023 for many, it didn't seem possible after a proposed bond was soundly defeated.
The timing was kind of bad because everybody just got their new tax bill.
That $143 million bond would have funded the multi-sport facility, a new ice arena, and upgrade city parks.
There had been discussions for the last number of years about how we can increase opportunities for indoor recreation.
But what many didn't realize is that those conversations had initially started with a smaller project, one that would rely on TIF funding.
We use that increase in tax from business development to help fund these other projects.
With the bond failing, those conversations were renewed, and piece by piece, multiple different plans came together.
Instead of a real large multi-purpose facility, this is kind of broken down into segments.
Which is why for the next few months, you'll see 2 active job sites, a $36 million investment into the community, hoping to make a difference.
It's like winning the Super Bowl for Billings, because it's something that we really need here.
In Billings, Charlie Klepp, MTN News.
The Huntley Project School District is growing, and today the school's breaking ground on a new multi-purpose building. The new facility will feature 2 classrooms with 1 available for community meetings, also a full-time home for wrestling and practice, and having expanded basketball and volleyball games in the elementary gym. The district says the new building will be a major advantage for both students and staff.
Some have to go early in the morning, so that'll open that up. And then also in the springtime or the fall, sometimes we have bad weather. It gives us a chance to have a spot for other activities to participate in or practice.
Officials say that new space will serve as a reliable location for activities to practice during inclement weather and even centralized testing. The fight against breast cancer getting a big boost in Billings. Today, Billings Clinic cut the ribbon on the new Rieger family high-risk breast clinic. Guests in pink toured the space, designed to identify cancer earlier for patients most at risk. It's the only clinic of its kind in Montana and Wyoming, built at a cost of about $200,000. Foundation President Nicole Melling says this new facility will make a lasting difference in the lives of patients.
So excited and thrilled to be opening it up today and being able to see patients. We do have a queue of patients who qualify to be seen in this clinic, and so knowing that we have the resources available now is it's really heartwarming.
Now that the doors are officially open, the staff expects to see some patients by the end of the month, of course, after some trainings.
Taking a look back at the month of September, anything in the red shaded dates, warmer than average temperatures. The gray means it was within 3 degrees of average. Only a couple of days even qualified as cooler than average, and we still hit it at 81 degrees by the time we got into that Saturday afternoon on September 6th. We did fall a little shy as far as moisture goes. Most of that was on the 13th when we picked up 41/100ths of an inch. And as far as temperatures go, this is crazy warm, 4.3 degrees above the average for a typical September. But as we start getting into the month of October, we're looking at a much different situation, and we're going to start to see some of the cooler temperatures we've seen for a while. Forecast details are only a few minutes away.
Governor Greg Gianforte made a stop in Stillwater County today to honor 2 veterans whose service extends well beyond the battlefield. Mike Alexander, a former Q2 Super Senior Larry Tipton, were recognized not only for their military service but their dedication to the community. Tipton says while the award is humbling, the real reward is helping fellow veterans every day.
I love serving this community. I love to service, the service of the veterans that any way I can through if I can help with their medical deals to get them going, to get some medical benefit.
There's still time to submit applications for veterans to receive the award in other counties. The window closes October 20th. For the first time in years, Washington is at a standstill. The federal government is shut down, and tonight Joe St. George breaks down the political fight over reopening and how long lawmakers expect the shutdown to drag on.
The federal government is officially shut down. It happened after midnight Wednesday morning. Now the question is, how long will this shutdown last, and who will the country blame?
The bill, upon reconsideration, is not passed.
Republican Senate leadership tried one more time to pass their legislation to avoid a shutdown Tuesday night. To no avail. They needed 60 votes, but it fell short 55-45. 3 Democrats did join Republicans, though, which is a sign that not every Democrat in Washington is on board with party leadership, who are demanding health care policy changes like renewing Affordable Care Act subsidies in exchange for government funding. Both Republican and Democratic leaders are blaming the other party for Wednesday's shutdown.
Republicans are plunging America into a shutdown, rejecting bipartisan talks, pushing a partisan bill, and risking America's health care.
The Democrat caucus here in town, in the Senate, has chosen to shut down the government over a clean, nonpartisan funding bill. We didn't ask Democrats to swallow any new Republican policies.
The last shutdown was in late 2018 and early 2019. It lasted 35 days and saw a host of government services impacted. Social Security checks, Medicare and Medicaid services operate as usual during a shutdown, but federal contractors can lose out on pay altogether. Federal workers, as well as members of the military, are expected to see a delay in their paychecks should this be a prolonged shutdown. Members of the military and essential government workers are expected to report to work as usual during this shutdown. The head of the Office of Management and Budget sent this memo to government agencies Tuesday night, ordering them to begin shutdown procedures. It is unclear how long Democrats will maintain their untenable posture, making the duration of the shutdown difficult to predict. Regardless, employees should report to work for their next regularly scheduled tour of duty to undertake orderly shutdown activities. President Trump once again reiterated mass layoffs during the shutdown are possible, although he did not provide any details.
A lot of good can come down from shutdowns. We can get rid of a lot of things that we didn't want, and they'd be Democrat things.
Joe St. George, Scripps News Group, Washington.
Today's the final day to file the application to claim that one-time rebate for your property taxes. Taxpayers are able to claim the rebate on their primary home, which they've lived in or have owned for the last 7 months. The maximum payment is $400, but again, the application window, it closes tonight. Rebates will then be delivered in the form of a paper check. The government may be shut down, but new tariffs on prescription drugs are taking effect today. Those import taxes on branded and patented drugs are set to be at 100%. There are some exceptions. At the same time, the president is offering Americans a new way to buy drugs at a discount. Kelly O'Grady explains.
So the pharma industry warns it could mean higher prices for Americans, but analysts that we've spoken to suggest the impact won't be that large for 3 reasons. First, the tariff won't hit generic drugs, which account for more than 90% of medications in the U.S. Additionally, deals with the European Union and Japan, of course, both major sources of pharmaceuticals, that caps tariffs on most drugs at 15%. Finally, any company that has broken ground or is in construction at a U.S. manufacturing facility is exempt. Now, one company doing just that is Pfizer. President Trump announced the drug maker will invest $70 billion in American manufacturing and research facilities. In exchange, it avoids those pharma tariffs for 3 years. As part of the deal, Pfizer will also sell its drugs to Medicaid patients for the lowest price available in other developed nations. Now, the White House also announced Trump RX. That's a direct-to-consumer website where Americans can get medicines at a discount beginning early next year. Pfizer is the first partner and says it will sell many of its drugs at a 50% savings on that site. Now, industry critics argue most Americans won't reap the benefits. Why? Most patients obtain drugs through insurance providers. With Trump RX, it appears that consumers will need to pay out of pocket. Regardless, consumer advocacy groups call this a win for patients when U.S. drug prices are nearly 3 times more than other countries. Kelly O'Grady, CBS News, New York.
There's a new mission to find the aircraft of legendary aviator Amelia Earhart and solve a nearly 90-year-long mystery. Earhart's plane disappeared in the South Pacific in 1937 as she tried to fly around the world. Next month, an expedition team will set out to confirm whether an object detected in a lagoon of a small island between Hawaii and Australia is Earhart's plane, a Lockheed Model 10 Electra.
We gathered up many more satellite images, did historical research, found other imagery that relates to it. We're going to go look and identify it. And if we're right, then we will, in fact, identify the lost Electra. We could be wrong, but I think the evidence is very, very strong that this is, in fact, what it is.
Earhart was the first woman to pilot a solo flight across the Atlantic Ocean. And last week, President Trump said he is ordering all government records about her to be declassified and publicly released. Some exciting news out of Zoo, Montana. Take a look at this new addition. Meet Thor, a gray wolf. Thor will soon join in with Zoo, Montana's resident wolf, Onyx. The best part, they aren't just companions, they are full brothers and litter mates. Thor will undergo a mandatory quarantine to make sure he's healthy and settling in. And visitors are asked to help create a quiet and safe space for Thor as he adjusts to his new life.